Hello friends, it's Chromatic Sauce and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be watching me tattoo a shell. This is the tattoo talk through of the shell. I don't know how to do the introduction. This is my first time filming with my face in the tattoo videos, so definitely let me know what you think. If you like this style of video with a little bit more of a conversation with me, you know, you can ask me questions, maybe I'll answer it next time. But don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all down below before we get started in this video. But yeah, let's get on into it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the whole commentary for this one, so bear with me. I hope it turns out cute. Oh, maybe I should put the recording thing over here because usually I do this kind of angle. But now I'm looking in the wrong direction. Shoot! Stand by. Okay, hopefully this will be better. I don't know. Usually I have it over here when I used to record for my other channel, but here we go. This shell was pretty cute. It was like really little. The shell was maybe like 1.5 inches big. I thought it was pretty straightforward. I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, let's just react to it. Let's just like go. Okay, just tucking in paper towel. Usually I like to do that because I don't know, I don't want to get ink on people's clothes. Usually I'm pretty good about keeping the area clean, but sometimes it just gets away from you. For this one I used a book pin 5-round liner for the outlines. It's like I said before, it's pretty small, so I have my machine pretty low. Anytime I do fine lines, I really try to have the balance of getting the ink in the skin versus not so deep to like cause a blowout. You know, that's the goal. I always prefer to go a little bit lighter than a little too heavy and then it's just blown out. You know what I mean? So I kind of keep it light. I kind of sketch it in, then I like wipe, double check my line. I'm like, is it in there? Is it dark? That's why I don't really like too dark of a stencil. A lot of times I'll wipe the stencil off before I start. Sometimes I just hop right in and I know it'll fade like after a few wipes. It fades a little bit. But yeah, so I'm just sketching this in. This one's a challenge not only because of the size, but you know, the pearl has like that perfect circle. But you know, when you shade off of it, it's like, it's pretty easy to get that perfect edge. And yeah, so the outline, I just used black. Like I said, I used, I think my machine is like it's a FKXO. I think it's just a 4.0 stroke, 4.0 millimeter. What is that? Just 4 millimeter. What's 0.0? That's just 4. But yeah, so you see, like anytime I do fine lines, I go sketchy. I tend to do that with most of my lines, like even lines that are a little bit bolder. I tend to, most of the time I do thinner lines. I've been trying to get into doing more bolder lines more consistently. I think it'll make my tattoos better and like just stand out a little bit more to have a little bit of a thicker line. I tend to choose pretty thin lines. So definitely if you ever get tattooed by me, don't be afraid to be like, I don't mind bold lines, like I would like it a little bit bolder or something like that. So definitely let me know. But anyway, since I'm so used to doing like fine line little stuff, like a lot of people come to me for that, I really have tried to get a lot better at that, like throughout my few years of tattooing. So like even when I do thick lines, sometimes I tend to go on the lighter side. Like I try not to go too like heavy-handed with it. I try to be light with it. First of all, I'm not trying to hurt the client, and I just don't feel like I'd rather have to touch it up because it was too light than touch it up because it's blown out. And I usually tell my clients majority of tattoos are free touch-ups, so like I said, I'll sketch it in. I'd like to be able to go back over it if it's a little bit light versus blowing it out right away. I don't know, I said the same thing like a bunch of times. So you see, I went around, I kind of sketched around. It's a shell, sort of like a natural shape, so I was like, the edges don't have to be perfect with the way the ridges are. She liked that like organic kind of uneven shape at the top. I had it a little bit too rigid when she first walked in, but she was like, can we make that a little like smoothed out, like a little bit more I don't know the word she used, like natural looking. That's what I gathered from it. So I think she might have even showed me a reference picture, like something like this, and I was like, okay, like I can definitely capture that edge. So I think we got it to where she likes it. I don't remember exactly how the reference photo she sent me looked. I think it was a little bit more of a solid outline for like the lines going down. But if you see here, I outlined the outer part of the shell with like a 5-round liner, bug pen 5-round liner with black. There's that like top lip edge that I did in maybe a medium wash. I don't quite remember. It's been like a week. It's been like over a week. Then I did a wash line for the edge of where there's like that highlight, because I didn't want there to be too much ink there, and I'm going to put white in there later. But I didn't outline anything else. So like the ridges in the shell on the bottom too, like I have the bumps on the outside, but I used shading to get my shape for that, because I didn't want dark lines that would get thicker and bolder, especially for how small it is. The less like solid black, the better. So something as small as this, I still want to get my shading and my darks in. So I still do use black for shading, like the stipple shading. Oh, with that I do a bug pen 3-round liner usually for majority of my stipple shades, unless people want to see the dot a little bit more. I don't know. It depends on the style of shading you ask for, because I do a little bit of a variety. But I try to get a little bit of shading in with black. I find that it'll blur a little bit over time. Like it kind of like develops over time. You got to work with it. But you don't want to just hop right in with just, well, I don't. I'm like not trying to do a tutorial. But I don't necessarily want to just hop straight in with just gray washes. I'm not like done with the black once I'm done with the outline. I want to make sure there's black shading. So you see here, I'm doing black shading coming right off the pearl, because I want the pearl to have a shine to it. Now I put shading on the pearl too, because you have to have the darkness to make brightness. But so right next to the pearl is where my darkest shading is. I think at the beginning I started with a dark wash, then I was like, I forgot to do black shading. So I went in over again with black. It doesn't really matter the order as long as you're getting it in there. I usually prefer to do black first so I can see what my true value is of the black, because gray wash can be a little deceiving, but I always build it up enough that I don't think it's gonna like lighten up to nothing, you know, because all the gray washes will lighten up. So I make sure, like, you can see how light my black shading is, like on the pearl. I make sure to do at least a little bit of black. Even if that heals that light, it's still gonna heal true to that light. So I know I'll have that darkness to give the pearl a nice shine. So I just shade it. I build up the depth a little bit. I think by now I'm back on gray wash. I think I finished with the black. And like I said, the top already had the layer of dark gray wash. And then I'm just building it out. I didn't want it to be too dark. Like I said, it was small. I didn't want to shade too much with black. You just gotta have enough just to give that touch, especially for something really small. People who want small, dainty things don't usually want it to be really heavy and really dark. You know, you gotta get your blacks in there to have like a more solid, saturated, long-lasting tattoo. But then I immediately, like very quickly, I don't want to take up too much skin. I want to leave the skin breaks. I want to leave the lighter tones in there because it's so small. So I very quickly go from a little bit of black shading to then dark gray. I do that light. I think I'm doing that now, unless I'm on to gray wash now. Okay, so now I'm on to medium, I think, because I already have the dark going down the lines. I don't know exactly what I did. To be honest, I don't remember. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial anyway. It's just sort of like my ideas. It's not like I'm helping you replicate this tattoo or something. It's just like, just my thought process. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I do the dark shading. I shade out with dark gray, always starting from the line, you know, like backfilling that black, making sure it's solid, because I don't want skin breaks to be in the black. I want that to be a solid, saturated thing, because it's going to blur together anyway. So you want to make sure you get the depth that you need, even without using just black. So then I hop in with a medium tone, blend out a little bit more, but usually still starting in the lines. If it's clearly very saturated right at the lines, I probably won't go in, but I always feel like this is such a gentle technique if you're like stretching the skin properly. It doesn't create too much trauma, so I don't find any issue with using the 3-round liner extremely slowly, just brushing over the already tattooed areas. And I just feel like it guarantees the depth that, like, you know, if you have a screen and you have black details on one screen and then like a clear like acetate or something, if you have black details on one side and then the next is like the next darkest tones, and then the next layer of clear acetate would have the medium tones, and then they would all be layering behind each other so that when you see through the darkness, there's a medium wash there. So people oftentimes go way too light with their gray wash, so that's sort of my way of guaranteeing that like the dark sort of has a backwash of a medium. So like even if that wasn't super saturated, which I tend to go for, the medium will finish saturating that dark as I bridge to the next, and I feel like that helps me blend. I feel like I've explained this in the Swan one. But yeah, I'm out of breath. I think I'm done. I'm always not afraid to go, oh, I'm doing the whites now, so I'm done with the black shading. Usually I ask my client, like, how do you feel? Like, we're gonna start the white. Like, sometimes I let them check it out beforehand, like if they want. Whenever I do a pearl, I'm not too afraid to make the shading on the pearl too dark, because I feel like I said, that's how you get it to be light and bright. You need the darkness for the contrast. So like the outside keeps the whole thing white when I do the circle around, and then the dark shading around the highlight makes that highlight pop. It makes it a little bit rounder, and then I kind of shade it in a round shape. But I'm not afraid to deepen it up with the light gray tones, because I'll get that saturation I need without making like a black pearl. You know what I mean? But yeah, usually I'll just do lines. I don't usually fill in with white, especially if someone wants a black and gray thing. I feel like it's a little bit of a disservice if you're putting too much white in your black and gray client stuff, because like, I don't know, white has different effects over time than just black pigment in the skin. So I tend to go for just the line. So like I said earlier, I'm doing that rim of the shell. I usually always would do a circle around something shiny, like a pearl like that, and then the little highlights. And I didn't think the top needed it at all. I was, like I said, stingy with the white. And that's it. And yeah, that's my shell, the full shell. Let me know what you think about this video. This is the first time I have like filmed face to camera for my tattoo videos, and I actually kind of prefer this over the voiceover. I feel like the voiceover feels a little distant. I feel like I have a little bit less care into it, and I feel like this should be fun to edit and put together, and then you can see my tattoos and my face, so that's pretty cute too. Unless, I mean I don't look that cute now, but whatever. Anyway, I'm being so goofy. Like I said, don't forget to comment down below, like this video, subscribe, hit the share button, check out my website if you want to see some of my work. If you want to get tattooed by me, definitely reach out. I'm down. I love getting creative, whether it's fine line or like bolder color. I'm freaking down. I don't even know if I'm in frame. This is all new setup for me, so I'm hoping it works out. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope when I opened this video I said Chromatic sauce and not my name, because that would be friggin' rude. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this tattoo. Constructive criticism welcome. Don't be rude. This is my client. I don't know what you would be rude about. Some people can be nasty though. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see next in terms of a flash sheet, tattoos for me, style, editing style, anything. I'm open. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, that was a weird ending. That's okay. Bye.